Hi, y'all. I'm going to see if anybody jumps on over here. I didn't plan on doing this, but I thought as long as I was awake, I would turn on StreamYard and get used to how it looks and how it works. So tomorrow night, when Cricket and I come on, I'll know what I'm doing. So I'm by myself so far. Hi, Marla. I was talking to myself saying I didn't plan on doing this, but I thought as long as I was sitting here, I would jump on so I would get more used to it for tomorrow night when Cricket and I go on. I'm trying to get used to all of the settings and I guess I'm going to have to send her a link tomorrow. I have to figure that out. Yes. What time is it? Where are you? What time zone are you in? There's a delay. I'm trying to figure out the delay also. I don't know how long the delay is. Maybe about 15 or 20 seconds. Hi, Ann Hummingbird. I didn't plan on being here. I was just telling Marla. But I want to get a little used to it and more comfortable for my hair looks terrible. Sorry, you guys. I was about to go in the shower. I need to wash my hair. But I want to get used to StreamYard before Cricket and I go on tomorrow night. You're in central Kansas. I lived in Missouri for 5 years. I lived in Osage Beach, the Lake Ozark. It's not the Ozarks. That's different than Lake Ozark. I spent a little time in Kansas. Yeah, this delay is really throwing me off. I guess I'll get used to it. I don't know how, like, Reese does it. She has so many people in her chat sending her messages that are going so fast. I don't know how she keeps up with them. I really don't. I can imagine comments coming in one after another and not having time to breathe. I wouldn't be able to do it. My puppy just came in here. He's wondering why I'm not in bed. And where do you live? You live in California, right? Yes. That's where I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I hate it here. After the cruise, I think we're going to try to move to Arizona, up around Laughlin. We lived in Las Vegas, gosh, years ago, right after I graduated high school. I graduated in 1980, and and we moved to Las Vegas. We lived there for 13 years, so I was kind of familiar with the Laughlin area, Laughlin, and I think Parker's down there. I forget what else, but Lancaster next to Edwards. Wait, is that by oh, is Edwards by is that anywhere around Vallejo? That's I know there's an Air Force base somewhere in around Vallejo. I can't remember. That's kind of up north. Wichita, Kansas. Oh, you live out in the desert. So you're in Southern California, more Mojave Desert. Yeah. I'm mixed up. I don't know what Air Force Base is up in the Bay Area, but I lived actually in the first state capital of California was Benicia, and I lived in a little. It was a Main Street town. I lived in Benicia. I've lived all over the United States, actually. I was born in Texas, lived in Alabama, and then we moved to California when I was little, Southern California, Manhattan Beach. Then we moved to Houston. That's where I went to junior high and, well, 8th grade through 12th. And then I left Texas and moved to Las Vegas. And then, let's see, after that, I left my husband and went to Missouri, then back to California. And that's where I had my bicycle accident up around the Bay Area. Well, I was in Lodi, actually, when I had my bicycle accident. Kelly, will you have to live with your ex-husband? I live with him because, oh gosh, I'll try to be brief. Excuse me, hold on. Sorry about that. I experienced homelessness 2.5 years, or no, it was five years now, but I was homeless for about 2.5 years because my mother has disconnected from me. I was experiencing I was deep in my addiction, and so she said, Kelly, you need to move out or go to rehab. I said, I'll go to rehab. So she dropped me off. We were living in Destin, Florida, and me and my son, my only child, I'll start crying talking about him, but we were living in Destin, Florida. I lived there 17 years with her. She picked me up after my accident in California because I couldn't, take care of myself. Anyway, so she dropped me off in Georgia at a rehab. And hi, Riri. Welcome. I'm telling a little story about how I ended up living with my ex-husband. Anyway, so she dropped me off at rehab, and she called up to the rehab and said, tell her that she's not my daughter anymore. I don't know her. She's not welcome here. She cannot come back home. And, I'm in a wheelchair, and she calls and tells the rehab to tell me that. And I was devastated. I didn't know what to do. So after I went through rehab and got clean, I thought, well, I'll just go. I hadn't seen my ex-husband. He was living in California. So the rehab was in Georgia. So I thought, well, I'll go visit him and give my mom space and time to think, and she'll let me, move back in eventually. Well, after about 2 months, she still wasn't budging. So I took a train from Northern California, where he was living, up in Humboldt County. I took a train to Austin, Texas, because I have a lot of family there. And my biological dad had recently moved there, and I hadn't seen him in 10 years or something. So I get to Austin, and none of my family will talk to me. The family that lives there is on my mom's side. I don't know what she told them, but none of them would have anything to do with me, which was a really big shock. And she had not talked to my dad in 50 some years, but somehow he got the message that I was looking for a place to live or something, and he wouldn't let me come over to his house. So I was on the streets in a wheelchair with all my stuff. I had, I think, 2 suitcases full of stuff, and a manual wheelchair. I didn't even have an electric one at that time. And it was the scariest thing. You guys, the first night, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. I had never ridden a city bus before, and I didn't know how to read a bus map. Anyway, God, it was terrible. But I don't even remember where I ended up. I didn't sleep. I think I went to a Taco Bell or something that I found open down by the university. And then I ended up running into this man, and he befriended me and started pushing me around in my wheelchair. I ended up going to the Salvation Army in downtown Austin, and they let me go, in there. They gave me a bed, and I was doing okay. The thing is, they kick you out all day, and you have to figure out stuff to do. So there was a church close by that everybody used to go to where they had a lot of resources, for housing and stuff like that. But of course, the housing list was a year long at least. And so I put my name on a list. I never got housing. I ended up meeting people, and eventually, and I was heartbroken because my mom, my son is the dearest thing to me. He just turned 20, and she would not let me come back, and she got rid of all of my stuff. I mean, I had a lot, I'm an artist, and I had a lot of equipment, I had all my clothes. I had just about every color of Converse. I mean, all my tennis shoes were gone. My Doc Martens were gone. Everything was gone. She just got rid of it all. Didn't even give me a chance to come get it. And I was devastated. I cried every day. I mean, I was heartbroken. My heart was literally broken. I've never felt such pain in my life. Being separated from my son just devastated me. And so I eventually got back on drugs because the pain was too great. And I figured, well, and I live in chronic pain because of my injury. From the waist down, I have neuropathy pain. And so I got back on, I was on heroin at that time, and that lasted for about 6 months. And I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I could not live on the streets any longer. So I went back to Florida, took a bus back to Florida, and I went to Naples and went to rehab, put myself in rehab again, got off the stuff. And I stayed in Naples for about 6 months, going to AA like 3 times a day because I didn't have anything else to do. I was staying in a I don't know what you call it. There is a house that, or there are houses like around Naples that after you get out, it's a big rehab there, real nice. They have a swimming pool and everything. But after people get out of rehab, they have to have somewhere to go. So there's people that have houses and they rent out the rooms, So I was renting out a room at a house, and I ended up meeting a lady that was crippled worse than me, and she had an extra electric wheelchair. So I bought it for $100, and I would zoom around Naples. And I wrote my mom another letter begging to come home, telling her, what I had done. I had gone back to rehab and how good I was doing, and she still wouldn't let me. She still wouldn't let me come home. She said, "You will never live with me again." And by this time, it was my son's senior year in high school. I had missed 10th grade and 11th grade. And like I said, I was just devastated still. So I had nowhere to go. I had to call my ex-husband. He was living in Humboldt County. And this was like 2.5 years ago. And he let me come out there. And he was thinking of selling his house, and he was thinking about moving to Florida. And of course, he says I talked him into it. Hi, Scooter Mom. Welcome. halfway house, boarding house. Yeah, something like that. It wasn't a halfway house, but anyway. So he says I talked him into moving to Florida, and I kind of did because I wanted to be near my son, And I told people last night, there was like 4 people on here. I came on for about 10 or 15 minutes. And my son, we have been in Jacksonville 2.5 years. Of course, my son has never made it here to visit me. He's 20. He just turned 20 last month. He's in college in Kentucky. I talked to him a couple of days ago. He's there playing football. So my mom, let me tell you what happened to her. So my son graduated high school and he's a sophomore now. So about the time we moved to Jacksonville, he was he in school or he was starting college that year? And my mom ended up, like a month after that, she got diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and which I knew nothing about, but I don't know if y'all know it. It's very, like, people usually don't live very long if they get ovarian cancer. Usually 5 years is about the most people end up living. But I'm not, and she told my sister, do not tell Kelly that I'm sick. My mom didn't want me to know, anything. So, but my sister ended up telling me, but we haven't let her know that I know. Anyway, she still hasn't talked to me. She did write me a letter, which I made a video about. It's one of my little videos, the one that said, I got a surprise in the mail. My mom wrote me a letter, but the letter was 2 sentences. Wasn't much of a letter. She said that I've forgiven you for being here, I'll read it to you real quick. I have it right here. It really, like when I read it, I had a couple of big crocodile tears. I didn't start bawling, but it touched me that she even wrote me. I thought, well, she's starting to come around. But then the more I thought about it, let me read it to you. I know it's right here. I just saw it. The more I thought about it, I thought, she's not coming around. Literally, look how short this letter is. Can y'all see it? It says, Kelly, I am happy that you and Noah recently spoke. That's my son, of course. I'll be brief. I forgave you long ago for all of the years that you were an addict. However, I cannot have you in my life. I forgive, but I'll never forget. I pray that you and Noah will have a blessed relationship. Mom. So, your daughter cut you out of her life in 2012. Oh gosh, that must have killed you, Anne, because I'm not a grandmother, but you know how grandmothers and grandchildren are so close usually, and how they say being a grandmother is better than being a mother. I don't know. I loved being a mother, so I don't really want to be a grandmother, but oh, good. Oh, that's so good they kept in touch. I'm so glad for you. How old are they now? I'm waiting to hear, and I know there's a delay. But anyway, so let's see, where was I? So, me and my ex-husband. So he's upstairs right now. When I met him, I was 17 and he was 42. 21 and 18 now. Oh, cool. My son just turned 20 like I said, that's cool. I am so, they texted you from their PlayStation. That is so cool. That is so cool. I'm glad you have a relationship with them. Um, oh, anyway, his name's Richard. He's a narcissist from hell. Oh my gosh. I was with him 13 years and he was a cocaine dealer. That's why I got with him. So if you can imagine, the hell and round and round and round we went, when there's drugs involved, it makes it that much worse. But he thinks he's the sanest man alive. And he does not remember abusing me. Um, Hi, Sarah, Robin, welcome. He, of course, he doesn't remember any of the abuse. He always says, I thought we got along pretty good and we had some really good times. I'm like, all I can remember, you guys, is horrible. I was sexually abused. I was emotionally abused. I was, at the end, it got very physical. He used to chain the steering wheel to the brake pedal so I wouldn't steal our vehicle and leave him. I mean, that's how pathetic it was. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so let me tell you though, now I don't put up with shit from him at all. I'm not mean to him, but I come across mean because he doesn't get it and I have to explain things to him. He thinks I should be, he said, you used to be so sweet. I said, because you used to make me sit down and you would lecture me for 2 hours at a time and I couldn't do anything else. I had to listen to you. I said, I don't have to do that anymore. And I said, I don't have to put up with you treating me bad either. Anyway, we have been fighting horribly for it's been 2.5 years that since I moved in with him, and I've been paying rent, so I have my own room, my own bathroom. Of course, he thought we were going to be having sex. I nipped that in the bud the first day I moved in. So thank goodness he hasn't bothered me about that. But when we were driving across country, I had something happened and he called me a liar, and I don't have to lie to him. I used to all the time, but I don't have to lie anymore. I'm too old. And after I left him, I promised myself I would never lie to anybody again, except maybe the police. But I don't have to lie to him, but he called me a liar, and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. And all going across the country every day, we were screaming and yelling at each other. And anyway, so he's 80. I think he just turned 80. His birthday's in January. I think he just turned 87. And I'll be 63 in September. What am I saying? My birthday's the day before the cruise, you guys. My birthday's the day we're supposed to be in Miami. But anyway, so like the past week or two, we haven't gotten in a fight, which is very rare. But he's starting to lay off me a lot. It bothers him that I don't have small talk with him, but I really don't have anything to say to him because he still blames me for everything. He blamed me. There was a roach in our kitchen the other day, one of those little roaches, and I'm like, that's disgusting or something like that. And he's like, well, it's your fault. I couldn't believe it. He's like, yeah, I didn't have roaches in California. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're going to blame me because there's a roach in our house. He said, well, you're the one that wanted to move to Florida. So if that tells you anything about how he is, yeah, I'm blamed because there was a roach. It's my fault we had a roach in our house. Anyway, so, yeah, that was like a 30-minute segue story. What does it say? I honestly don't know why my daughter has done this. It's been very difficult, painful, and shocking, and no one gets it except other parents that have had it happen. It's far more extensive than, roaches live in California. Yeah, I know. And he may not have had any roaches, but it's sure not my fault. I mean, that's how his mind works. Like, since I talked him into moving to Florida, it's my fault that we have roaches. It is absurd, Marla, and his thinking is absurd. I'm telling you, I have like a whole stack of papers over here because I used to like get so mad that I would go in my room and shut my door and start journaling just to get it out of me, because I didn't want to fight with him or argue with him anymore because he is so unreasonable. So I would start writing things, and I have this whole stack here that I need to file. And some of the things, I was reading some of my journal entries last night, and it's crazy, some of the things that I have written down. But his thinking is, like I said, everything's my fault. And if I try to hold him accountable for his actions and words, immediately he will twist it or try to twist it. I don't let him anymore. He'll try to twist it and make it my fault, even when it makes no sense, like twisting it but the twisting doesn't even make sense. It's not logical. He will still make it my fault. Anyway, so tell him it's a baby alligator. Oh my goodness, my glasses are so dirty. You know what, you guys? I'm gonna I have got to get my teeth fixed. I think I'm gonna like make a video journal of me going to get. That's why I don't smile and show my upper teeth, because they're so bad. Like 2 years ago, I used to have dreams that my teeth would crumble and just fall out of my mouth. And then it started happening. And then my front tooth, like 2 months ago, it split in half. And I bit down on something and half of it broke off. So, I mean, I still have a few teeth, but the top are bad enough that I'm not going to show you, but I need to do that before the cruise for sure. I need to go get blood work done. I haven't had a mammogram in probably, I want to say 8 years. Yeah, I hate doing all that stuff. I guess I need to go do it. And I just hate all that. And then I deal with the pain doctors. And so I'm on pain medication. And they don't want to prescribe, anything that works well. And they are so strict nowadays. But so I found a doctor that would prescribe, but he doesn't take insurance. You have to pay cash. So he charged like $360 a month. Now, mind you, my disability check is like $900. I have to pay rent out of it, and then this doctor wanted $360, and the medicine I couldn't file with the insurance because the doctor didn't take insurance for some reason. I couldn't even get my medicine file. It wasn't real expensive, but it was like $50 a month. So that's like 400. That's almost half my paycheck. So I'm like, he'll prescribe, but I can't afford that. So I'm going to a different pain management doctor next week. Hopefully he'll help me out, because if I don't get it under control before the cruise, I won't be able to go. But anyway, I'm so tired of dealing with pain medication. But I'll tell you what, if I don't have it, I lie in bed. And I've had a spinal cord stimulator, put in. That's where they put wires on your spine, and then you have like this little remote control thing, and it sends an electrical signal from your spine to your brain. It's supposed to trick your brain. It interrupts the pain signals, but it didn't work for me, so I had it removed. Like, I kept it in for like 5 years, I think. I finally had it removed. I've tried everything, and the only thing that works is narcotic pain medication. I'm not afraid to say it. It just is. And, I've been called a drug seeker, and like, of course I'm seeking drugs. I want to be able to move. If I don't have it, I can't get in and out of the bathtub. I can't make it to the toilet in time without peeing myself. I can't move well enough to do my laundry, or, all that. My whole life is affected. Have I tried nerve blocks? I want to say yes, but I know that I had one doctor years ago when I lived in Destin, Florida, and she was giving me injections in my neck. Now, my injury is up in my neck. I didn't completely break my neck. I have what is called a Syrinx, Syrnx. It's a sac of fluid that sits on my cord at C5, and that little sac of fluid causes all my pain. And people are like, and I'm like, why can't they just like stick a needle in and drain that fluid? It's because it's sitting right on my cord. And, I have a little movement in my legs. Like, I used to be able to walk with a walker. Like, I can lift my left. I fell right here. I went over the handlebars and fell on my left forehead. And so my right side is affected more than my left side. But I have a little movement in my legs still. And, like I said, I used to be able to walk a short distance with a walker, but my legs have gotten so stiff, and the movement is because I don't do any physical therapy. I don't want to do that. I sit and do my artwork and my jewelry work. And, but yeah, if I don't have pain medication, I'm lying in bed crying. And I know many of you know that pain has a life of its own, and it takes over your life. It really does. It really sucks. But I just deal with it the best I can. And, I would rather be able to move around and have a few years taken off my life because I'm taking, pain meds, and rather than living longer and not being able to move and not having a life. And so it's a choice. I know you know about it, Anne. I know you know about it. But anyway, so it's starting to get light here. But anyway, yeah, so we're thinking of moving to Arizona. He wants to be around either Lake Powell or the Colorado River goes through Laughlin, I guess. 3 neck surgeries. I wish there was a surgery for me. I mean, there might be by now. I haven't been to a neurologist in years because every time I went, there was never anything they could do. I should probably reach out and try to research it. Yeah, Lake Havasu. That's right. That water is so clean there. Lake Mead in Las Vegas. We used to go to Lake Mead all the time. It was so clean. We were in this. We had this little dinghy boat that we used to pet around in, and we were in it one time. I looked down, and it was about 6 feet down, and I saw a $10 bill. That's how clean the water was. I jumped out of that boat and picked up that $10 bill. Yeah, the water's so clean down there. But he wants to be near the water. He wants to get a little boat. He likes to swim. He's like, we could take a picnic lunch and go on the boat. I'm like, I'm past that. I do not want to be out in that heat. I don't want to be in the sun. My body doesn't move like that anymore, and at this stage of the game, I just want to be in the air conditioning. And I've got to at least start stretching. If my leg muscles have gotten so tight that I have a hard time spreading my legs. That sounds funny, huh? Oh, let me tell you something. When I was in Austin, I had not had a date in, it was 15 years. I had my son, and after that, his father, I wasn't married to his father. It's got more water in it now. 2 years ago, Lake Mead was so low. Yeah, I heard that long lost bodies were found. Are you kidding me? I believe it. You know how many bodies must be at the bottom of Lake Mead? Yeah, I heard the water level was horribly low, but so I had not dated. My son was 15 when my mom kicked me out of the house, and I had not been on a date in 15 years. I didn't even care, my body was wrecked. I couldn't walk right, and I just didn't feel pretty anymore, and I didn't want to date. I just wanted to, raise my son and do my art. And I went to Austin, and I ended up dating this guy. Oh my gosh, you guys. I had not had sex in 15 years. Oh my gosh. The first time, let me tell you, it hurt so bad. I thought I was a virgin again. Truthfully. It was so funny. But anyway, yeah, so I dated for about a year while I was homeless. And that was something. And I never want to date again. I don't care. I'm back to where I don't want a boyfriend. I just want friends. I don't want any. My husband died 14 years ago, so technically I haven't dated in 20. Wow. Yeah. That's a long time. But it's been 14 years since you've had sex, right? So mine was 15 years, and let me tell you, I had to get used to it all over again. It was the funniest thing. Yeah, I don't want to date right now. I mean, if I met someone, I would let them take me out to dinner, but that's about it. Richard would die. Anyway, I think I'm going to jump off, you guys. I need to take my puppy for a walk and go take a bath and wash my hair and try to at least lie down and rest for a little while. I did take a short nap I was dozing off during Cricket's show, and I woke up and I want to go back and see what happened. Something happened for her to be on that late. I don't even know. I'm going to go watch the end of her stream, find out why she was on so late. And hi, Kimberly. So glad all of y'all are here, but boy, I talked y'all's ear off. Y'all are so patiently and patiently listening to me. It's weird, like talking and not being able to hear what people are saying. I can read, but it's not the same when you don't hear voices. Something I'll have to get used to. Okay, bye, Marla. I will see you on the flip side. I'll see you tomorrow, I'm sure. But I'm trying to see where it says how many people. Oh, I see. How many people does it say are in the chat? Is it 9? Is that what that number is up there? Tampa Bee was bitten by a cat and has a bad infection. Oh my gosh. Cat bites are supposed to be horrible. Yes, and that is what that, now there's 8. Okay, I was wondering what that number was up there. So now I know. That's good to know. Oh, wow. She was bitten by a cat. Did she go get it checked out? I heard cats' mouths were really dirty or something. It's not good to get bitten by a cat. We were all trying to get her to go to the ER. Oh, and she didn't want to go, I guess. Well, I hope she goes. I hope she goes. Bless her heart. I hate going to the ER too. I don't blame her, but I think if I got bit by a cat, I would for sure go. Especially if it's starting to get infected. Ugh. What a thing to have to deal with, a cat bite. Was it Aaron that who got bit? Was it one of the protesters? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. Oh, it was Streets. Hi, Janet G. I just learned what happened to Barbara. Yeah, I was wondering why Cricket was on so late, and I said I need to go back and watch the restream on replay, but I just learned that Barbara has a cat bite and she has an infection. I've been talking these ladies' ears off. If you want to go back and listen, it's a little bit of my story, how I got to where I am right now. But what was I saying? She said she will go to urgent care in a couple of hours. It is really swollen and red. Her hand, I guess you mean hand. Maybe you mean hand. Probably. Oh, hand, yeah. Oh my gosh. She couldn't move her fingers. She needs to get in there. That could be bad. Yeah. She doesn't want to mess with that. I know y'all told her all that. She knows, I'm sure, but gosh. How long ago did she get bit? Was it like tonight? Did it happen? Did it swell up real fast? Do y'all know? Yeah, she needs to get in there. She could end up losing her hand. That would be terrible. It was tonight, yeah. Well, I'm sure she'll do the right thing and go. But she kept saying, I'll go tomorrow. I'll be fine. No wonder. I bet y'all really had to push her, huh? So she was resisting. That's why y'all were up so late with Cricket. She was resisting. I got it figured out now. Thanks for the info. No, she isn't going. Are you kidding me? She can't go around with a swollen hand and not being able to move her fingers. If swelling was fast, that means that it's already starting to get infected, right? I mean, it doesn't just swell. Isn't swelling like from a bite? Wouldn't that be an infection? I don't know. I'm just assuming. I mean, my legs have been swelling. My from my knees down to my ankles, actually down to my feet. I'm gonna have to get some water pills or something. Really, the reason I've been swelling, I know it's because I don't get up and force myself to walk a little bit every day. It's because it's so painful. Once I get some pain medication, I think I'm going to try to force myself to use my walker a little bit every day. You know, movement helps. She will go tomorrow. We want her to go ASAP, but she thought it was okay to wait. Too dangerous to wait, as all of us at the chat were saying. I think it would be dangerous for her to wait, waiting on her hubby to go to work and take her daughter, take an exam. Shaking my head too. I just learned what SMH means a couple of nights ago. I finally asked in the different chat. I'm like, what does SMH mean? I could not figure that one out for the life of me. But I learned the other day. Shaking my head. I was going to make a video today and I want to show y'all around my studio. I think I said that last night, but I ended up just working a little bit today. I had to retake those pictures and of the jewelry, the pictures of the jewelry I want to send you. They were not very good. So I spent all day today taking pictures and editing them a little bit so I could get them in some kind of decent order to send you. So I'll do that today. I will send you an email. Cat bites are super nasty. Yes, they are. They are. What kind of art do I do? Well, for about the past 15 years or so, I've been making jewelry, and I work in sterling silver. I have a drawer full of sterling down here. Most of it's like wire, but it's different gauges. Like, I don't know. Can y'all see this? It comes in like different thicknesses, wire. I pound it out. I solder it. Here's some real heavy wire. Here's a sheet of silver. And I work with copper too. Like here's silver, sterling. I do watercolors now and then, but just small watercolors. I haven't done any of those. I usually do watercolors for Christmas cards. And I sculpt a little bit. I like to sculpt. I'm working on a rabbit head right now, but it's kind of funny. Anyway, I am going to make a video and show y'all around my studio. So it's small, and I mean, I have stuff everywhere. There's some kind of order to it, but it's very crowded in here because I have so many tools and so much inventory. I took all of last year off just to make jewelry because I want to get an Etsy shop, and I wanted to have enough inventory to where if I got an order, I wouldn't have to rush to make it. You know, I would have it already made. So I didn't realize, though, how much work it is to sit down and do an Etsy shop. And most of the work is taking the pictures and than writing a description of everything. So um, let's see. Yeah, I do have a live to get ready for. I have to research a little bit. Cricket gave me some things she's going to talk about, so I am going to research it a little bit today. I used to make sterling jewelry and sometimes gold. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can't afford, I would be afraid to work in gold. Scooter Man, hi, or Scooter Mom, hi again. Um, I don't know. I don't even know how much gold costs now. I mean, sterling's kind of high, I think. I need to sleep. Yes, I need to sleep too. I'm going to be shutting down here real quick, Scooter Mom. So thank you so much for checking in here, and I will see you again. Yeah, so I do need to get an Etsy shop going, Kimberly. I do. I like creating so much that I hate selling it, and I hate like thinking of having to sit down and do an Etsy shop, but I've got to get that going because I really do need. I mean, I've made a few good sales to people here. Good night, Janet. Thanks so much for coming here. I'll see you again. Good night. But yeah, I'd rather create than all that other stuff. And like I said, I've had a couple of good sales from people that I've met in the chats. And I've been working with polymer clay like for the past year or two. And I don't know why. Oh, I saw a picture of a necklace that someone had made with polymer clay, and it was so cool. I'm like, I've got to see what this clay thing is about. And so I tried it, and I fell in love with the clay. There's so many neat things. When I show you around my studio, I'll show you some of the things I've made out of clay, like really cool stuff, I think. And just like the feel of the clay is I just like the way it feels. It just feels so, I don't know. I like to play with it in my hands, and like a lot of times when I'm reading, I'll have a piece of clay in my hand, and just like, I like the way it feels. And white clay feels the best for some reason. Isn't that weird? But anyway, I'm going to hop off. I love you guys so much. I feel so close to the people that I've met in Cricket's stream. I go on the other people's, there's certain people that I go on, but there's not very many. I usually go on the protesters streams. I like those better than like ex-Scientologists. For some reason, I feel like I'm lost in the crowd, like on Reese's and on Natalie's. I feel lost in the crowd somehow. And so, I mean, I go back sometimes and listen to them, but mainly I watch the protesters, and I'm just so shocked at what these police do that I guess I'm so shocked that I'm enthralled. What they get away with, I just cannot believe it. It's kind of like I used to watch a lot of crime stories and stuff because I was always, good night, Kimberly and Ann. I'll probably be talking to myself, but I used to like watching the crime shows because I could not believe what people would do. Like, they thought they could get away with murder. I'm thinking, how in the hell did they think they would ever get away with what they did? And so it's like, how do the police get away with what they're getting away with? It drives me crazy. But anyway, I keep saying I'm getting off. I am this time. Thank y'all so much. I don't know all 6 people that are here, but I appreciate you checking it out. And it's been almost an hour. It does go by fast, but I have been talking my ear off. So I'm going to go put my legs up after I take my bath and take my puppy out. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.